Now, as you all may know, I usually go with welcome to the indoor tavern. And this is the soft opening, and yours truly. I'm not going to be really up here long, but if anybody wants to come in here and talk, then they're welcome to do so. And what I would like to do is just take this small time that I have left before I hit the hay to point out a very ridiculous person. And if you think that is of any credit, then what I'm about to do is, in its full simplicity, show things how they are. Okay. Because I'm sure that any scumbag looking to make sure that they get what they want, it is more likely that TTOR is just going to be a disposable resource. So before we proceed, I'm opening the indoor tavern again. Soft opening. What I'm going to do is give him something to point at. So I got my, so this is the indoor tavern after all. So I got my dark beer, German, and I'm going to pour it so that a particular someone we're going to be talking about is going to say, well, he drinks, so we can't take his credit for it. I'm not sure how he feels about alcohol, but we're doing it anyway. Cheers, everybody, to the indoor tavern. I think I screwed myself over. Hmm. Yep. I don't know how to pour a beer. But yeah. Sorry about that. I'm wearing shorts, by the way. Don't worry about it. I have to change my shirt. Yeah, way to start the show, Boki. You spilled beer all over the freaking spilled beer all over the freaking floor, Boki. You're spoiled that, Boki. Oh. Sometimes, Boki Ken is not perfect. And then I got another green shirt because I started this stream with the green shirt. So this is Vice Hybrid Uncle. Gosh, I forgot how good these things taste. But look at this beautiful foam right here. Huh? Okay, so let's get an order of business. So the man of the hour is TTOR. So let's give this a look see. Let's give this a look see. Right. Cheers, everybody. Okay. Order of business. Now I'm going to show you guys how this all began. I thought, honestly, I thought I would have never seen more of TTOR, of just commenting more about my elder. Now, you may be thinking that I am up here because it appears as if my elder is insufficient in defending himself, but I am the curator of Smoky Saint Lore, and I'm also Saint Samurai. I am a defender of my elder and anyone else associated with him. Because, if they don't have good defense. They'll just call you a nonce. They'll call you pedophile or pedophile supporter. But it's actually it's. I mean, if you're able to just get past the emotional leverage or the reviling, it's pretty easy that you could just ask them ask them the simplest of questions. I mean, you could just simply use logic against them, and then watch them flail and throw tantrums, and in the end, they they show you that they have no good reason why they ran with this pedo saint hate train bullshit, and then watch them call you or distract from the argument or discussion at hand to just attack your character so that your credibility would be lessened rather than honestly putting up a fair argument against me. I'll also be doing the same thing, which is to pitch an argument against them before I even insult them. And when I insult them, I don't just insult them for the sake of distracting from the argument, but I do this by observation. So here we are. This is how it began. And if you look up here, this is my post. My elder congratulates me. Yeah, you're welcome, elder. You're welcome. Saint Samurai to the rescue. So here we have TTOR just regurgitating the same old dead meme over and over and over again. And in my next soft opening, I'll be collecting some videos and some old gems and going back with some older receipts that would really show just how ridiculous this is, because apparently this ploy is as old as time, analogically speaking. Like, there were folks, and I think these most of them were atheists, that couldn't handle a conversation with Smokey Saint, so they decided to dig up some dirt on him, and they pull up a bunch of characters and then try to find a face behind a voice, and then they kept pitching it in, and then there was a time where Smokey Saint revealed his face, and then he revealed that he wasn't these persons that they claimed. I mean, there was like five characters, and and as desperate as things went for them, they decided to say, well, all of these five identities are them, which doesn't make sense. Like, one identity can't be the other. And then when they couldn't figure it out, they just kept calling him Josh, because they have no way to justify if whether or not such character is Smokey Saint, or if that or such character is behind the avatar of Smokey Saint. They just say that it is, but they can't even show or elaborate how it is. They just say it, and they try to reframe their narratives over and over. But TTOR is what makes things easy for me when it comes to TTOR. He's very much a diehard of the same framework. So this will be easy. I mean, as I already did in my posts, but I thought I'd just give this a big look. So here we have. Hold on, I think Joshua. We go down here. Okay, so the big mouths and okay, here. So here it is. So this all began here, and as per usual, there is a acceptance to a debate, and there also been people. Why you included me in dumbass? I think. Well, you know why, Jamie. There in the past, you went with this BS too, and even believe on the Lord Jesus Christ finds you a stealthy chameleon. So here comes TTOR here, trying to find a plausible dismissal tactic to just wane away from the debate. And he's a coward. He won't. He's the kind of I I said what I said, and boom. Like you don't need to challenge. I mean, what he's implying is like, look, I said what I said. You don't have to challenge me, but allow me to sell it so that I can gain relevancy because apparently by myself, I can't grow as much as my elder did. So here we have TTOR here just saying, as I have already explained in my newest videos, in which in his videos all he did was just show timestamps without elaboration, no justifications, and it's nothing. And then afterwards, it's just mere speculation. Okay, like he doesn't. This is what he's just saying. Oh, like this is what I think happened. This is what I think he did, and this is what what was employed is this is how the laws were. So he'd rather focus on one side of the story than to hear. So knowing that TTOR is also this kind of diehard nuda scriptura or fundy literalist, I think in order for him to do something like this, he had to glaze over the idea of not judging a matter before hearing the fullness of it. And he proves that in our comment section squall, all he did was pull up a registry in which I will not elaborate more on because what I will end up doing is pitch an argument out there. Well, not an argument, but to pitch a syllogism out there and how the guy doesn't make sense and how I can show that the guy just believes this out of whim. All right, so let's go here. So he says here, I need to zoom this in for the benefit of the audience. Hold on, just kidding. Okay. So he's like, as I've already explained in my newest video, I already confronted you directly on Gangster's Ghost livestream, in which in that same video, all he did was whine and moan about how he's being strawman. Where all Smokey Saint did was just, maybe you shouldn't just believe things out of a whim. Like you don't just believe in one side of the story. Like you don't just believe in unsubstantiated claims or assertions, considering that it took 20 years for the quote unquote victim, or should I say shit bitch actress Shitori, because I have no respect for that lying bitch whatsoever. And clearly she's not the victim, or supposedly the victim. But for the sake of the argument, fine. Why then did it just take 20 years after the fact before she decided to make a plea? Right? Like before, like she just can't come off 20 years after. Okay. And then people are speculating like, well, maybe he forced him to hide something. Well, fine. The thing is, like, when it comes to legal things, you don't delve in what ifs, you delve in what is. And here you are, guys, just pitching in this. I mean, you think that you're like one of these people who thinks that they can pull up an article in a debate and boom, debate over. Your point is undeniable now. That doesn't make any sense. But fine, let's say that registry proves all, but there is one specific caveat behind that, in which what I will do is show that is by premise and by syllogism and philosophical applications and ethics too, show them that just how stupid and at the same time wicked that is. Okay. So he says here, as I've already explained in my newest video, I already confronted you directly on Gangster Ghost livestream a month ago, third-party platform that neither of us controls. I need to come onto your home turf. I don't need to come into your home turf so you can shout at me and boot me from the room before beating your chest like an ape as you declare yourself the victor. Now, that is not what happened. TTOR tucked tail and then Smokey Saint just dismissed himself. He wasn't beating his chest. He just disappeared. And then fine, you don't want to be in my channel. Fine, I challenge you in Brett Kane's channel, and then you let your terms. And then this is where I call him out for his dismissal tactic, as valid as it may sound. Um, there is no way that he's running away. He has to pay the dues for what he's spewing out there by justifying what he asserts. And even for my even for my very first period in being in this kind of environment, especially with the cult with K, we always end up having these kinds of we always end up encountering these kinds of people where they are strong in their I mean they are loud in their voices but not in their application, and all it takes for them to falter is to be confronted. A good example would be Nicholas Whitmire, looking for every angle and excuse just to wane away from the debate between him and Gavin. He makes a claim which he can't even substantiate. So when you do something like that, you have two things to defend now, and it's hard to juggle that, considering that in those two items there are also like contents within those two items, and you're trying to juggle it sufficiently while the rest of the contents don't fall over. I mean, this is the kind of situation that TTOR puts himself in here. Now, he can pull up a bunch of things, but I do expect fallacy coming in. So that's how it began. So now we turn to my synopsis. All right. So here I am saying that. I mean, I know Basement told me it's a waste of time, but the the thing is, I allow this, and because that, if I don't, they will not end up saying a bunch of more crap that would, I guess, reveal more about themselves. I tolerate this, and for a reason, and graciously too. I mean, if I can get them to just admit that they did wrong, and I can forget that something like that ever happened, but they won't do that. They will die. They are willing to die in the hill they stand on. So this was my post response concerning what he said. So I said here, interesting dismissal tactic, but all you have revealed is that you have no true justification as to why you banded along the pedosane hate train. In my synopsis, all you have done to prove that my elder is a chomo is by pulling a sex offender registry without elaboration or justification. He just pulls it up. There it is. And then he just speculates, and then he just ends up creating his speculation from the registry itself. So he's asserting what he thought happened in there without having to prove it, without having to elaborate it, without having to justify it. So it's just basically beautiful but empty words. Think of it as a shamisen, a Japanese string instrument. It made beautiful sounds, but its soul is empty. I have watched your recent video. Yeah, that I did. And then what I've seen from the video is that he just kept shouting, "You're straw manning." I mean, he's kind of like this miniature Kermit the Frog voice. Like, "No, you're straw manning me. You're straw manning me." He doesn't even justify how he's straw manning him, apparently. So you pull out videos. So you pull out videos, even one of our own, then claiming you did so and so without justification. Yeah, he even pulled out one of our videos. In his video, he pulled out a clip where Smokey came back for the first time. And then they revealed his face, and then he did. I mean, the squad were revealing their faces, and then M. Scotty, with his ever eloquent voice, was narrating the entire thing and how stupid and evil the case was, like what this shit bitch which was trying to employ. And then when the scumbags that we deal with, caught wind of that, and they just kept on reframing the narratives over and over and over again. So I said here, I really called him out for his method in asserting his uh, his accusations or his charge. So I say here, you pull out videos, even one of our own, then claiming you did so and so without justification. That means you neither provided a timestamp nor gave an elaboration on what you assert. Too much effort. Sucks that the burden of proof has to be on your shoulders, huh? So with that, I openly challenge you in the comment section in my channel, since you admit that you cannot handle my elder, but ironically won't shut up about him. Don't worry, I've watched your recent videos, so I openly challenge you. All I need is a dead meme and a burning question that will be the domino of what you deserve. Assert. Now, what I mean by dead meme is this. So give me just a little bit to pull that out, because I have receipts. I have the archives. I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna open this up and I'm gonna open this up and show everyone show each and every one of you what I'm talking about when I say dead meat. So this is the caveat. This is the no no, that was more mums, that was the more mumsery episode. So I'm gonna open this here. All right.
On the bandwagon. You aren't far behind them in your personal moral fortitude. And this will serve
Okay.
as an
idiot.
God, you dumb faggot.
You're a fucking faggot. Shut your goddamn mouth, you fucking
That's
showman.
faggot behavior.
Why don't you
That's
fucking
faggot behavior.
why don't you go rape a baby, you fucking baby raper? I got it. Hold on. We're good.
All right.
Nothing's happening. What's going on?
Leviosa! And if you are jumping on the bandwagon, you aren't far behind them.
Can you imagine that for someone who did so hard, who tried so hard in his little essay, and with his work, and probably like uh, immense amounts of time for practice and how to be wordy, it just takes something even as ridiculous as this to put them down. Like TTOR, I gotta tell you right now, like I can't speak like you. All right, I can't speak like you where I don't end up having to take time to pause. And I mean, you're immediately eloquent, but however, wordiness can only take you so far. Okay, because what I want to do, much like a katana, which only has one edge, I am straight to the point, and I will cut down right to the point. So I cut through all your wordiness, and I just simply get to the core of what is behind what you're telling your audience and me, apparently, who you who you has sort of given me some kind of psychological diagnosis, because in your comment like with a snide remark, you tell me that I need to go check in a mental hospital. So that's psychological diagnosis ish type of insult. You're telling me that I'm a mental or moron, but apparently that has shown me that there is no way that you can defend what you assert. You don't know, you can't defend what you believe, which is why you don't even know why you believe this. You have no good reason to believe this. You just banded along because maybe you just hate the guy. But anyway, what I will do now is return to the subject matter, and then we'll play this one. This one has a point. This is the point that ages like fine wine, considering there's also a dead meat.
In your personal moral fortitude. And this will serve as a mirror to reflect this upon you. You all don't even consider that Nakasuchi the Dumblet may have been trolled with breadcrumbs to go look for a debate with Jesse Lee Peterson that actually wasn't even me, but just hilariously looked a lot like me. Too bad that long-running troll campaign will miss its payoff. For all you know, I found a funny clip of someone super similar to me and kept it in my back pocket
You mean
as
like
a
Fed
lesson
Smoker
about
and that other guy?
assumptions, judgment, and failures.
The other
That
10
one's
people they tried to claim was me
not
too.
really very usable now, but I will chuckle about it myself for some time to come. Well, to conclude, if you all really believe that all of these are the same person, well, then I guess.
You'll believe whatever you want to believe.
Oh, yeah, my voice was sexy there.
I'm telling you.
That was hot.
I had
Oh,
that
my
Now, ladies and gentlemen, as you can see, what I will have to do is also pick out. I need to pick out something that will, drive this point home. Because apparently, what they'll end up doing is that they'll end up going back to the core essentiality of their conclusion, which is to claim that I mean, there's no way for them to be able to pinpoint who is and who isn't and what isn't. So they'll just keep on, saying that, oh yeah, he came out in the Jesse Lee Peterson, and then now they bring out a Mecklenburg registry. So it's really really stupid. You like an officer does not arrest somebody even if the premise is just that they just look like the offender, except the guy that looked like the offender is not the actual offender. So I can show you guys right now, even in the slightest or even in the most ridiculous way, that this isn't about truth. It's never about truth. They just want to. They keep doing this is because, well, put it this way. I agree with Ryan when he says that this is nothing more but a distraction, because the more they kept opening their mouths about this, they end up blaming each other. I mean, and this was a thing, and this was a kind of thing. Like, I didn't know exactly how it was going to pan out, but when all of this was happening, I was already praying that the scumbags that we deal with will cannibalize and scatter. And until this time, my prayer is being answered, because they keep opening their mouths. So they're always on the run from us and from themselves. So it's really really easy to ruffle these guys' feathers. So I need to find that, but apparently I can't seem to find where I posted a link about it saying that he was in the JLP debate, which I found really really stupid at the same time, because there's no way for him to defend it. He just wants to sit there and say, "Well, I believe this." Okay, do you have good reasons as to why you believe this? No, he doesn't. Which is in the heart of justification. They're not able to do that. Can't. So, here it is. I didn't miss it I didn't miss anything while I was defending him. So it's really really funny, because even in this same video, I would also like to say thank you for using this video. Like, he thinks that they're the same person. Did he just say he's Jason? Oh, it's Jay.
So are you a Christian?
Yes, sir.
And you believe that I have a disdain for intellectualism and biblical scholars.
Interpretation of
So we're gonna do this now. So this is the guy they keep bringing up, and if you go back here in that same video where I pulled up, they're saying that this motherfucker right here is the same motherfucker that was in GLP. And then in the beginning of the video, they showed this particular identity here. So if you take a look here, this is where he in the vid, in the intro. So first it was this guy, and then that guy. I mean, the details are really the same. This is from the Sister Sunshine. All right.
clear to his Hebrew audience, I am God. I'm not the Father.
And then, so they.
And I let my diet go to crap.
All right. So they think. So
try to make it
keep
sound.
bringing up
They
this
come up with
guy.
all this term.
And then they bring up this guy too.
Because it can take a lot. I mean, especially if you're.
Now I find it funny at the same time because they're telling me also, like, I asked him this question. I asked him this question specifically. Do you believe Smokey came out in the JLP debate? And they say yes. Then they bring out a Mecklenburg registry saying that, oh, we found Smokey. He's in the registry. But if that being the case, if Smokey really is the guy in the registry, then why pull this guy up? Why pull him up? See, I have to painfully find something else too. So hold on, so that I'll be able to pitch in my argument. So I can pitch in my argument because I'm pretty sure whatever it is that they try to employ, it's not that hard. So they really think that they got my elder, but the thing is, it's just really stupid. Like they think, oh, I'm going to pull this up so that he comes out. So there he is. Now, as a brief moment, I find it really funny that they think, I mean, even in the intro, it falls flat. So I'm going to show TTOR just how the thing he believes is really stupid. So they keep pulling up JLP Smokey, but then they will turn tail and then pull this guy up. They will end up doing face comparisons again. So you can see just how stupid and ridiculous it is, because you go back here, they keep pulling up Sister Sunshine Smokey, GLP Smokey, and Smokey in the bottom right corner. And then in the videos that we see, which was shared to me by a disgruntled Korean Satanist because he can't get over the fact that he lost and there wasn't a way he could dox my elder. So they keep bringing up this guy, and then they will turn around and bring up this guy, then this guy, which is in the Mecklenburg County Registry, and then they will also bring up this guy. And I find it really funny because they're saying, oh, this is Smokey and this is Smokey now. And then we go over here. They really think that this same guy whose face is shaped like a freaking horse is the same guy that revealed himself upon his own return. So the idiots can't take their pick. They do not know which thread of evidence they want to claim to follow. I'm almost down to my beer, but this is about the only thing I need. But imagine how I, enjoying a beer and getting buzzed, can still show everybody else how this entire bullshit is just ridiculous. I'll get into the timestamps and where you guys could skip to this one. All right, so I find it funny. So I'm going to go through this again. All right. So as you can see, they pull up this guy, then this guy, then this guy. Okay. And then they're saying, oh, Smokey was on JLP. And then we pull this up. This is the Mecklenburg County Registry Smokey. And then already in the intro, it falls flat. Because they're also saying that this is Smokey and that's also Smokey. You don't think that this guy, and by the way, mind you, this looks very, very edited. Very, very edited. Like the textures and the gloss is just it's just too freaking perfect. I mean, the guy looks like a bald doll already. But what I really want you guys to focus on is I want you guys to look at the facial structures. Yeah, they are similar. But do you not see how distinct these characters are? Like, can you not see the distinctiveness between these guys? And then I find it funny because if they're going to say that this is Smokey and this, and then if this is Smokey and this guy is also Smokey, because apparently it looks like the guy that we're trying, I mean, because our primary looks like this one. But if we go back here, if you look at this entirely different facial structure too, they don't even look alike. They don't even look alike. I mean, there's similarities, yes, hilariously similar, but they're not the same person. And logically so. Remember when in my reading in Dr. Kenny's book on 3 fundamental rules of logic, where there is the law of identity, and then there is the law of non-contradiction, and then there's the law of excluded middle. And I believe that the law of excluded middle is the one that really, the law of excluded middle contains Occam's razor. All right. So here's the pitch. If you're going to tell me that if you're going to tell me that my elder appeared in this debate, and then you're going to turn around and say that this is my elder and this is also my elder, but if we go here, oh my goodness. Look at this one. They pull up this guy, right? And you could see the facial structure here. And look at the beard here. See? I'm very convinced that this one is photoshopped. It's just perfectly edited to look like my elder. But now, in their desperation, they will go here. And if you can see the facial structures, if you can see the blatant, dishonest editing, I mean, think about it for 2 seconds, okay? If you really believe that the guy that you pull in the registry is really my elder, why would you have to do some kind of bullshit editing like this? Think about it for a second. Why would you, if you believe that the guy you pull in the registry is my elder, why then would you do some bullshit editing like that? And here's another thing. During that time, you guys were demanding that Smokey would show his face and you guys would believe him. So it just goes to show that not only you guys do not know which thread of evidence to follow. Not only had you done this dishonest editing multiple times, and number 3, you guys don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You just ran with this. Like, if you're going to tell me that Smokey appeared in the JLP debate, then he can't be Mecklenburg County Smokey. That's not how the law of identity works. In fact, you have violated the law of non-contradiction and the law of identity too. Either Smokey, if you're going to say that Smokey was in the JLP debate, then either Smokey was in the JLP debate or not. That's a true dichotomy. That's the law of excluded middle. And then you guys are saying, well, he appeared in the JLP and they bring up Mecklenburg County Smokey. So in the law of identity, either Smokey is Smokey. That's the law of identity, right? And now you're telling me that you're bringing up 2 different characters, 2 different variables. Like saying Smokey appeared in JLP and this is Smokey in the sex offender registry. See, you bringing up 2 more variables violates that law of identity itself. A cannot be B. A is A. A cannot be B. A cannot be C. A cannot be non-A, and A cannot be non-A. B cannot be non-B, and C cannot be non-C. See what I did there? Non-C. So it's really stupid, you guys. Like, you guys pulling this up, and logically, it doesn't make sense. If you're going to say that my elder Smokey appeared in 2 separate occasions, one is at JLP, and this one apparently in the courthouse, you now have 2 different and separate identities saying that these guys are Smokey. You guys contradict yourselves and you don't know who the fuck you're accusing. It's really that simple. And all of this fear mongering you assholes decided to do unto me. I'll drink to that, by the way. All this fear mongering that you assholes have done to me is because, well, apparently anyone with a brain and with honesty can see through your bullshit. So you guys gotta pick which threads of evidence you want to follow. Especially you, TTOR. You have to pick which threads of evidence you want to follow. Is Smokey in the JLP? Is Smokey the guy in Sister Sunshine? Is he the guy in the Mecklenburg County? Is he the guy in the sex offender registry? Like, who is who here? And look at this. They keep pitching this out. They keep saying that oh, great. Look at this. See? More dishonest editing. Because if you think about this, they keep pulling this guy saying, oh, that's Smokey. Then they pull up, oh, crap, I hate it when then they pull up this guy too, saying that this is also Smokey. But then they will tuck tail because they don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're just trying to reframe everything else. They keep pulling this guy up. He's the guy in the He's the guy in the registry that we keep throwing out there, even if we have no justification or no inference as to whether or not this guy in the registry is indeed smoking. Like, you don't know who the hell you're trying to. Hell, you don't even know that who the hell you're trying to frame or slander. So that's really stupid. And you go here, and then afterwards and then for years on end, you guys are so confident that this guy is my elder, and afterwards this is what you do. I mean, another thing also is where I can see through your satanic lying and your satanic reviling and taunting. Look at this. You honestly think that me, a left brainer, no, not left, because that would be right hand dominant. You honestly think that me, a right brainer, left hand dominant, and usually are the kind of people who are very particular and meticulous with detail, otherwise known as artsy. I would know that because I studied neuroanatomy and neurophysiology, and usually the guys who are right hemisphere dominant, they tend to be artsy and they're more particular with details. All right, so you honestly think that someone like me will fall for your bullshit? Because look at the facial structure. You go back here. This guy's facial structure is really, really slim compared to this Malteser looking motherfucker right here. Sorry, smoking. And then afterwards, I mean, the glasses aren't even identical. And once more, the textures have changed to fit the face. But I find it ironic that the guy that you keep leveraging, the guy that you keep pulling up, saying that you got the guy that you keep pulling up that was in the sex offender registry, and you guys were so sure, dying on the hill, that saying that this guy is really my elder, and then showing your deficiency, you go on ahead and edit this. I mean, this is not even the glasses that my elder is wearing. And you know what? I do hope you guys find this. And then you find this, you make fun of me and attempt to refute what I'm doing here. I really hope you do it. I really hope so. I really hope you find it. Really, I do. And you can, call me out and taunt about, you can't listen to me because it's just some Filipino having German dark beer, because apparently that's the only weapons you have. So, in conclusion, you filthy lying motherfuckers, you need to take your pick. You need to be certain in which threads of evidence you want to follow. So, at this very hour, I will let you guys choose which of these Malteser looking motherfuckers do you think my elder is? Especially that Mecklenburg, look over here. This is Mecklenburg Smoky. And then this other fucking, this hard ass giraffe looking motherfucker Smoky. So they keep pulling up this guy. This is Smoky. They keep pulling up this guy. This is Smoky. And then they pull up this guy. This also Smoky. Like, you put them together. Like, you don't actually think that their facial structures are different. Like, Do you not see the detail? And by the way, they also pull up Mecklenburg Smoky, which is this face that comes out. And then logically speaking, if they will say that Smokey appeared in the JLP debate, if they keep saying that this is Smokey, he cannot be either of the four. If they're going to say that this is Smokey, he cannot be this giraffe-looking motherfucker right here. Giraffe snout-looking motherfucker right there. If they're going to say that Smokey came out at Sister Sunshine, then Sister Sunshine Smokey is Sister Sunshine Smokey. He cannot be anyone else. He can't be JLP Smokey. He can't be Mecklenburg Smokey. If they're going to say that Smokey is the Mecklenburg County guy, then he cannot be in the JLP, and he cannot be in the Sister Sunshine. So it really boils down to, you really got to take your pick, ladies and gentlemen. Because in my neck of the woods, if you did something like that, and then we can see how unsure you are, like if it's rendered in Visaya, the pinataka raka, the pinataka raka na pinataka raka, like you're just so random. You're just choosing hitherto, like you're saying that it's this, and then 5 minutes after it's this one, and then another 5 minutes after it's that one. Like you guys who keep pitching this bullshit has shown a semblance of uncertainty, and you're treating it like it's a fact. So I know I shouldn't care, but the fact is I allow this because you guys can't help but open your mouths. But I know it's never about but after this, I know it's never about truth with you motherfuckers. You just want to go out there and attack my elder unsubstantially too, and satanically too, by the way. And then eventually the people who perpetrated this were the pioneers of this perpetuation, and you just joining along. I tell you this, they're beginning to see you, or I mean, forget about beginning to see you. In the beginning, when you decided to tag along, they see you as a disposable resource. So now we're gonna end this here by finally going to the squall between me and TTOR. And he's pretty much saying the same thing, breaking 3 fundamental rules of logic and just treating his own uncertainty as a fact, like ever so delusionally. So I say to him, he says, so you watched this video? Well, I watched it. You just basically acted like a sissy whipped baby in a Sunday because you did. So we go here, TTOR, and he says, like, you're really, really stupid person. Like, are you suggesting that it's okay for Smokey to strawman me? So this is his projection over here. And this is his preconceived notion. Like, because I'm able to logically run contrary to what he asserts, this is what he'll say to me. And then I tell him, that's not what I'm saying, but I'm pretty sure that you know that my elder is just saying that you shouldn't just believe things out of a whim. Like, he thinks that just because he can pull out a registry and there's like, oh, that's Smokey. but he doesn't even make inferences or elaborates how the supposed identity that he pulled up is exactly my elder. Like, what is your justification? And then this is when I ask him, did he appear in the JLP debate? And he agrees. Look at this. He agrees. And then he gives me a psychological diagnosis that I need a mental checkup and take whatever pharmaceuticals that's prescribed for my brain. And so, because he couldn't handle that, I'm able to see how ridiculous and illogical his assertions are. I tell him exactly. So he says, so in his video for like 32 or 37 some odd minutes, it's very clear that he believes that Smokey is the guy in the registry. And then I ask him, did he appear in the JLP debate? So that's another separate identity altogether. So he doesn't know who my elder is. Because when I get him to accept another identity or another character, for 32 to 37 some odd minutes, he keeps elaborating from the registry. He's already breaking a law of non-contradiction and law of identity. And Occam's razor. If you're going to tell me that Smokey appeared in the JLP debate, then he is the guy in the JLP debate. Either he appeared in there or not. And prior to this, he's going to pull out the registry, which he keeps blabbering about in his recent videos, quote unquote. He says, "Oh, that's you in the registry." And then I ask him, "Oh, do you believe he appeared in the JLP debate?" He said, "Yes." And so this is where I also ask you, TTOR, like, which thread of evidence do you want to follow? Because if you're going to tell me that my elder is appeared in the JLP debate, then he can't also be at the same time the guy that is in the registry. That's a different character altogether. If you're gonna tell everybody else and your audience that Smokey appeared in JLP debate, then he can't be pedophile Smokey. He cannot be Mecklenburg Smokey. He cannot be Sister Sunshine Smokey, and most certainly he can't be what you assert that he is in the registry. You can't. That it's basic law of identity, it's basic law of non-contradiction, it is basic law of excluded middle. True dichotomy. If you're gonna say that Smokey is JLP Smokey, then he can't be any other of the characters and identities that you pull up. If you're gonna agree with me that he appeared in the JLP debate, then you cannot also at the same time say that he is the guy in the registry. Which, by the way, I will say that you guys run to this as if you guys run to this like a pajama in a cold winter evening. So it's really, really stupid. And he thinks, and this same motherfucker right here, that's gonna tell me that he's doing some sort of armchair type psychoanalysis here, telling me that I'm sort of mentally disordered and saying that I have to visit a hospital and take whatever medical medications prescribed. I answer back with, you need a pair of glasses, new ones, because I can't, because apparently you can't tell two identities apart, and you're very shit with details. And this is where I pull a Will Kincaid here. He said this in prior streams. Like, if you're not willing to like look at the face of an object and go, that's an object, you're retarded, my dude. So clearly the guy does not know what the fuck he's talking about. He's much like everybody else that hates our guts, even in the cult. They just run with it. It's never about truth. It's about satisfying your ego. And I'm going to end with a cheers. Apparently, oh, I spilled my beer again. I'm a fucking moron. But anyway. So there you have it. And apparently I have no interlocutors, but that's okay. I mean, it's probably Sunday morning in your end right now. Oh, definitely Sunday morning in your end. I live in the future. So that's all I have to cover up. That's basically it. And I will go back when there's like, I mean, if there's going to be more people, we're going to discuss this too. We're not going to be like brainstorming, like, okay, like, is it really you? Is it really you? We're just going to, I mean, we're going to brainstorm on what layer of ridiculous that's going to be in. That's going to be the core essentiality of that third stream about talking about TTOR and the hashtag pedo saint hate train bullshit that we keep on pulling up. May I remind you that this thing tastes like a blend of coffee and chocolate. This is why I love dark beer. You get full with this easily, and it's flavorful too. Well, to conclude, that if you guys, hold on, I need to get that again. Post. I gotta end it with this. All right, let's end with this one. Let's end with this one.
Judgment and failures. The other 10 people they tried to claim was me too. Really very usable now, but I will chuckle about it myself for some time to come. Well, to conclude, if you all really believe that all of these are the same person, will miss look. All don't will far behind them.
I'm going to stress this. I'm going to stress this one for the idiots that just banded onto this. I need you to pay attention to this particularly because apparently this is very relatable to what you guys attempted to do and how and where your methods were inspired by.
In your personal moral fortitude. And this will serve as a mirror to reflect this upon you. You all don't even consider that Nakasuchi the Dumblet may have been trolled with breadcrumbs to go look for a debate with Jesse Lee Peterson that actually wasn't even me, but just hilariously looked a lot like me. Too bad that long-running troll campaign will miss its payoff. For all you know, I found a funny clip of someone super similar to me and kept it in my back pocket.
You mean
as
like
a lesson
Fed Smoker
about
and that other guy?
assumptions and judgment and failures. The other 10 people they tried to claim was me too. Really very usable now, but I will chuckle about it myself for some time to come. Well, to conclude, if you all really believe that all of these are the same person, well, then I guess
You'll believe whatever you want to believe.
Oh, yeah, my voice was sexy there.
So, ladies and gentlemen, to conclude, that if you all really believe that all of those identities you pull up are my elder, well, the only conclusion fitting for retards are you'll believe what you want to believe. So I'm going to end this here. And for those of you watching in the 5 that have made it this far, thanks for stopping by. And thank you for watching until this point. And yes, in the beginning of this video, I took off my shirt because I spilled beer over the freaking place. I don't know what you're going to do with that. I don't know what you're going to do with that information, but regardless, thank you guys for coming here. I hope you guys had a great time also reading this, listening to this, and I'll see you around. I'm going to close shop now, so see you around.
In a land of algorithms and shadows, a lone warrior rides, cutting through lies like still through mist. Ongoing chambre, onlano sinepe.
Saint Samurai cloak dipped in holy flame, scrolls in his sash, not chasing online fame. Wanders through YouTube's digital planes where clout demons troll and curses reign. Isaiah Blade forged in divine light. He swing proverbs like katanas in fight night. No weapon formed, that's Isaiah 54. He guards the meek when the wolves are at the door. Apostles in the comments, trolls speaking forks. He behead them with psalms and chalk, outlines and chalk. Cyber Pharisees threaten jobs and fam trees. Doctors play God, Saint Samurai disagrees. Exposes fake shepherds in Gucci robes. Wolves in live streams, sniffing out souls. Calls them out, not for clout but redemption. Standing in the fire like Meshach dimensions. So Saint Samurai cut through lies. Swing that word in the midnight skies. To protect the flock, expose the frauds. Warriors rise with the armor of God. Told he don't play, he don't run. He speak truth and he walk with the sun. In the wasteland, he be the spark, lighting up demons in digital dark. Cult to move like snake pit vipers, but saints stay still like Elijah by the cypress. Matthew 10, I ain't bring peace but a sword. He clashed with fake saints who twist the Lord. Touch not the anointed, they weaponize that while they blackmail believers behind fake chats. Saint Samurai got receipts and scrolls exposing snakes like Eve in Eden's fold. He saw a preacher peddling pain for praise. So you're tired or your life decays, but Saint said, nah, this temple's not for sale, and turn that table like Christ in the veil. DMs full of threats, but he prays through fear. Psalm 23 in the YouTube sphere. Shadows in the valley, but he walk upright. Cause his shield ain't data, it's the blood and light. Saint Samurai cut through lies. Swing that word in the midnight skies. To protect the flock, expose the frauds. Warriors rise with the armor of God. Told he don't play, he don't run. He speak truth and he walk with the sun. In the wasteland, he be the spark, lighting up demons in digital dark.
And I heard a voice crying out in the comments section, prepare the way of the real and guard the brethren, for many shall come in his name, but only few bear his sword.
His mission ain't vengeance, it's righteous defense against wolves and streams and AI pretense. Saint Samurai, a ghost in the script, standing for the ones who barely exist. He's the voice for the canceled, truth for the shame, restoring the name that the liars defamed. In revelation mode, with the heavenward scope, he ride unseen on the digital slope. So when your face attack and the silence is thick, just know Saint Samurai moving quick like Christ.